Okay, we're going to be working on preparing a fairly complex contract for a wedding. So, first thing I want to do is pull up all of the emails regarding this client. And I know that I'm going to search by the client's email so that I get everything that I need. And I find it helpful to just cut and paste into a Google Doc and title it by the wedding date and the client, and call it, say, for instance, October 2009, Sarah Harper wedding details. Just put everything in there in one central place that I can cut and paste the information from. So I'm going to look up Sarah Harper. Right here is the client. I'm going to copy the email address and put it into the mail search and see what I come up with, and I'll be right back. So to review, I'll go over to Google Docs, or the URL is docs.google.com. I'm going to create a new document, which I'm going to paste all of the various details for this wedding into. So I'll put down here, as soon as it's ready, Sarah wedding details. And I'm going to put the date there, but I have something to paste first. Okay, so I'm going to go back and get the date of the wedding, which is, I'm not finding the date, so I'm going to find that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I found the date and put it up here at the top of the document, but I noticed that the document is not titled that way, so I'm going to copy the date with Sarah wedding details, and I'm going to click here and paste that in. So now that's going to be the new title for the document. I'm going to save and close this because I need to pull that document over into the events folder right here on the left. So I click, hold down, and drag it over on top of events. Now it's in the right folder for organization purposes. Okay, so I'm going to continue adding information. With these complex contracts, sometimes it's helpful to do two contracts, and I think that's what I'm going to do with this one because there are two dates within this wedding. So bear with me, and I'll be right back. Okay, now, so I've divided this wedding detail sheet up into wedding day and rehearsal dinner, two separate dates. I'm going to go through all the information and put it under ceremony, reception, or rehearsal dinner, get all that information organized before I start inputting it into two separate contracts. So here I go. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've organized all of the details according to each day. We've got the wedding day here. We're going to deal with a ceremony for 1 hour. I gave them a price of $500, and it's an out-of-town gig, so I quoted them $50 a player for travel. It's a trio, so 3 times 50, $150. The total fee is $650 plus dinner for the ceremony price. Now for the reception, I gave them a $2,000 price for 5 hours, $200 for sound, travel for 4 players, $200. There's 5 people in the band, but I'm already going to be there, so I'm only going to charge for the 4 players. So that's $200, $50 a player for travel time. So the total for the reception is $2,400 plus dinner. And then down here I have specifically what that band is going to consist of. Vocals / keys, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. So we got keys, vocals, bass, drums. I'm going to be playing guitar, violin, and vocals, and then electric guitar. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to input all the information from here into the first contract, which I'm going to do for October 16th, 2010. So what I do is I click over to another browser window and go to Google Docs, and here I'm at Google Docs. I look at the event folder and I'm looking for the contract template. Here it is right here. I click contract template and then I fill out that as best I can. So, and if you've watched the other video on doing a contract, and you kind of have, you know the basics of how to do that. So I'm going to pause here and fill all that information in and be right back with you. But before I go away, let me review that you want to take this contract template and you want to save as to create a new version for just this wedding. So I go make a copy under File menu, make a copy, and you go, it says click OK to copy the collaborators, or cancel to just copy the document, cancel, so that I keep the contract template intact. for future use. So I press cancel, and then I'm going to retitle this with, by clicking this right here. Click this again. I'm going to put the date, 10/16/2010, Sarah, the name of the client. I'm going to say wedding contract because we might be doing some other kind of show. If it's a party, I'll put party contract, but we want to keep this specific to weddings. Press return. So now that I've saved it as the new contract, I can begin editing through the details. Be right back. Okay, so I filled in the contract, strings attached trio and band, and then Sarah Harper, email, phone number. Always have client, an email, and a phone number. They're going to put in the address of the engagement because I don't know that yet. Or I could go to Google and just search for that and put that in there. So I'd recommend doing that actually, and then they can check over the information and make sure that it's correct. October 16th is the date. Hours, we don't know that yet, so we're going to put that to be announced. I might put a little red ink on that to put that in there so they make sure that we when we come back to this in a couple weeks or months that we get those dates filled in. Okay, now the price agreed upon, I put the total here, $3,050, and then in parentheses I put the breakdown of between the ceremony and the reception, what it is, and I put plus dinner for 7 players, and that's going to be in 2 payments over here, the retainer and then the balance right here. I can put balance in there, might be a better idea. After wedding in cash or money order. Now in the other details, I put the specifics of, see up here it just says strings attached trio. Down here I put string trio for the ceremony, and then vocals, the exact band that's going to be at the reception. They might put other things in here that are appropriate that I'm not sure of yet. So I'll leave that open there for them. And then we don't know the load-in time yet either. So this contract is ready to send to the client for review. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to go over here to share. I'm going to invite them to view it and edit it. So I go to their email address, copy that, go back over to the contract, put it in here where it says invite in the invite box, and then I'm going to have a little message here. Something nice and personal. Here's a draft of wedding music contract. I'll be sending a separate one for the wedding rehearsal dinner. Okay, so what I wrote was, here's the draft of your wedding music contract. Please look it over carefully and let me know if anything needs adjusting. I'll be setting a separate one. I could put separate contract to be specific for the rehearsal dinner. Sorry this took a while. All the best. Will, I put my phone number in there, and I go ahead and just send that out and click save and close. Now you notice up here on the right it says can edit. So I'm going to let the client edit it. Boom. Then I save and close this, and now I'm going to go prepare the contract for the rehearsal dinner in the same way that I did this contract. I think that covers a complex contract, and you want to document everything. Also at this point I would go over to the event status log right here and click everything that I did. Record everything that I did in here for that contract. So the name of the game is document, 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 and follow up as much as possible. Document. It's okay to be really detailed, and I think that covers everything. You should at this point, after viewing both the videos, know how to contract an event. But as a reminder, please don't send anything out without first running it by me for a double check of details. It's very important. Okay? Thanks for watching.